Lap 108, you're clear. 108 at the line here.
Oh, we got a crash!
48 goes around. The big one happening. The one's upside down.
Slow, big wreck behind you.
Kurt Busch climbed all over the top of the 41 of Custer. The 2 is around. Playoff contenders involved.
Yeah, right there. The 14's pushing the 48. Gets him turned around. Now, off the right. Kurt Busch way up in the air. Fortunately, came down on his tires. There it starts, right there. That trial, we talked about it earlier, that is the worst place. That's where your car has the least amount of grip around this racetrack.
In 2020, during the Talladega playoff race, Kurt Busch was sent up the racetrack and hit the wall head-on. He hit it so hard that his car flew over Cole Custer and Clint Bowyer. This is something so wild that we've honestly haven't really seen that much in NASCAR. A car to hit the wall so hard that 2 cars drive underneath him. Thankfully, Kurt Busch was okay after this accident, but man, was that scary.
Pocono with a half a car length on him. Now here comes Carl back on the low side. Oh, Carl slips a little.
Come on, he's sideways.
Oh, now it gets into Joey's into the bar, and the car's upside down. On the side is Clint.
Yellow's out, yellow is out, yellow is out.
Wallace gets into it. The 14 of Bliss gets into it. Red flag immediately.
Stop on the back. They want you to stop on the back.
They are stopping everyone on the
back
backstretch.
or something. I just in the throttle. He got loose. I touched him, guys.
Watch this one more time.
This is just 2 drivers just giving it everything they could, but you can see Joey was in the gas, slid up to where out of the groove, there's no grip there whatsoever.
And Bowyer got the worst of it.
Yeah. Joey hit that wall hard. See, Carl got loose right there. So did Joey. Joey's out. Yeah, Carl never touched him right there. No.
He never did.
Wow.
He thinks he did, but he didn't.
Yeah, no, he never touched him.
When battling for the lead with only 2 laps to go in the NASCAR Nationwide Series race at Dover, Joey Logano and Carl Edwards would make contact, sending Logano's car going in the wall, and Bowyer would catapult over Joey Logano's car, sending him flying in the air, nosing head first into the wall. Thankfully, Clint Bowyer was okay after this horrific accident. Even after this accident, Carl Edwards and Joey Logano were able to shake hands and continue on about their day. Carl Edwards was able to pick up the win, but it wasn't for the lack of extreme circumstances.
Loose right there in the middle.
Is Kyle weaving the car?
He had been cutting it.
Oh, trouble.
Big. This
Oh,
big.
Casey Kane gets turned around. Greg Biffle involved. Mark Martin is there. No caution has come out. They're going to let him race back as Birdie piles in, and now the caution.
6. You knew that was going to be big when you saw the 9 coming back across the racetrack.
Okay, here's what happened final lap.
Casey, and I'm going to put a big block on him, and that's what it was.
Oh.
He put and man, once you get that grass, you're done.
Yeah.
Wow, that was a hit,
that.
man.
Wow.
That was a hit.
That was a hard hit. The 16 and the 5 just drove into the side of the 9, had no place to go. The Mark Martin and Biffle took the hard hits right there. And then you see 24 come into it.
On the final lap at Pocono in 2010, Casey Kane was blocked by A.J. Allmendinger, his teammate, which would send him spinning back up across the racetrack into Mark Martin and Greg Biffle. Kane's car would catapult in the air with the rear of his car in the air first, sending it almost over the wall and onto the bushes in the backstretch. Thankfully, Kane was okay after this accident, but man did he get some air. And it's surprising because back then in these COT cars, you didn't see them get air like that. You saw them blow over and flip, but getting one to go in the air and on top of the wall, that was pretty wild.
3 Fords have separated themselves. A big push coming now for Harvick. Oh, and around goes a couple cars. Preece upside down. He's barrel rolling through the grass. Ryan Preece upside down in the infield. In that inside line, the 17 of Ricky Stenhouse Jr. Look at the hands on A.J. Allmendinger. Up in the air goes the 42 of Kyle Larson. Caution comes out. And another contact. Matt Kenseth hits. The 1 of Jamie McMurray flying down pit road.
This is another great action shot right here. Watch this 42. Hits the wall, then gets pushed into the air by the 17. You see the roof flap open. The car sets back on the ground.
The 21 of Blaney, he's in the brakes, just nothing you can do. Remember, Matt Kenseth, Casey Kane had got shuffled back. They got behind this wreck. Matt Kenseth did not get through it. Casey Kane did.
By far, one of the fastest tracks the NASCAR schedule for any series is Michigan, and Spencer Gallagher was testing the laws of physics at Michigan when he got turned on the backstretch and his truck went airborne. His truck would come back down across the racetrack and be able to maintain himself on the ground. Thankfully, with these trucks, they're high drag. You don't really see them do a lot of blowovers, and at Michigan, there can be a lot of blowovers with the speed they carry. But these trucks have plenty of downforce and can usually withstand crashes like this and keep them on the ground.
A tire trouble, turn one, hard, a car in the wall, and spinning down to the bottom. It's going to be 10 or more cars involved. Johnny Benson. Lap 4. Here they come to the flag, and everybody pretty much out of the throttle.
Man, that car was almost over on its top right there. It hit that wall a ton.
Rusty Wallace, his teammate, the two cars involved.
As they come through, watch for the last two cars, which I believe, there's Earnhardt Jr. up high getting through with Schrader and Tony Raines. Jr. and Raines.
Darrell, I believe the 12 car, Ryan Newman, looks like he was out of shape, maybe starting to get loose by himself.
And Newman almost flipped over.
Remember, he had that hard crash at Daytona where he got on his roof at back in February.
I can't imagine that there wasn't some sort of contact.
I'm starting to think if your name is Ryan, you're going to flip a lot at superspeedways, because Ryan Newman has had some vicious crashes at any superspeedway track that he's ever been to. And at Talladega, there is a forgotten crash where he went in the air and almost flipped. And it was in 2003 when he went head-on to the outside wall in the middle of the big one. Newman's car went on its side and in the air, but was able to come back down across the racetrack, but it was in front of the entire pack that he still got collected in and T-boned by the 4 car and the 02 car. This was by far one of the most vicious crashes that Ryan Newman ever had in his career.
We've heard, oh, here's a car upside down.
Big time crash upside down.
It's Ryan Newman. See Kevin Harvick there, Marcus Ambrose.
Ambrose is there, comes across, Harvick stops, and Newman's car comes to rest upside down on its roof. We were hoping it would not happen, and here with 5 laps to go, indeed it has.
Hell of a job.
I don't know what started that, but you see quite a bit of damage on that car. Flipped over 3 or 4 times.
Yeah, I was looking out the window, but I could not see. That's so far, that's the furthest point away from us. Just couldn't tell what was going on there.
The safety crews are there immediately. They get in the car and will try to communicate with the driver.
Six years later, but on the backstretch, Ryan Newman would also be flipped over. This time it was completely flipped over where his car landed on his roof and it was difficult for him to exit his vehicle after the accident. Ryan Newman is a very tall man, and to get him out of a vehicle that's flipped over was a tall task. They didn't want to injure Newman in the process. What had happened was he got spun down the backstretch, and with these COT cars in the wing, it just put his car in the air and it went nose first on the ground, and then the wing landed on Kevin Harvick's windshield. Now that's extremely dangerous to have happen. Newman's car would then go sliding back up across the racetrack and barrel rolling until it landed in the grass upside down.
Won it in Infineon 96 races ago on the road course.
And who
half
do
a
you...
second. And the 99 has turned over Brad Keslowski.
And we have a caution.
My goodness.
I don't know if I'm okay.
Keslowski was on track for a 6th place finish.
Boy,
and we're told there was contact between Edwards and Keslowski.
A little crossover move here by Carl. Clean here, clean here. Just slight contact.
Oh,
look at that thing go.
That looks so much like Edwards' turnover at Talladega off the bumper of Keslowski.
It really did.
He is flying on this restart.
Whoa, look out! Elliott's gone. Keslowski, Reddick, 2 playoff drivers in this wreck. And the car goes over. Taylor Reddick has flipped.
Yep, I'm good.
So Reddick is up high. We'll look at the 45, the Jumpman car. There's contact. Contact maybe with Truex and Elliott. That was the spark.
It is. Truex and Elliott side by side. I don't know if it's contact or just arrow tight, but the 9 of Elliott up the racetrack, not meaning to, catches the 45. Around goes the 45, and as the 45 gets in here, he hops onto the quarter mile and gets upside down. Crazy looking accident for Tyler Reddick in the 45.
That is crazy.
There's no way anybody saw this coming. You could have joked and said there's going to be a flip, and nobody would have expected it. Tyler Reddick, when battling for a Final Four spot at Las Vegas, flips over in the grass. And even the craziest thing about it, his car was able to keep moving and he drove to his pit stall. Reddick's car was flipped in the grass and flipped over one time, and he landed back on his wheels. Reddick was battling Martin Truex Jr. and playoff contender Chase Elliott. Truex slid up into Elliott, which made him go into Reddick. Reddick still said it was his fault and he should have been on the high side to put himself in that position. Regardless, Reddick flipped over in the grass at Las Vegas, and it is the first flip in the NASCAR Cup Series at Las Vegas. If we ever see another flip at Las Vegas, I would still be as surprised as this one.
Jeff Green got sideways there underneath the 27 car. Casey Atwood almost lost control.
And a big...
Oh, trouble. Oh, and one car upside down.
Casey Atwood. And sliding through the grass, Kenson climbs around.
White and yellow flag.
Atwood's car is destroyed. You saw the officials with the caution flag out very quickly as leader Randy LaJoie came to the flag.
Restart zone. Kyle Larson, the outside. Carl Edwards on the inside. Green flag back in the air. They're blocking. Good go down low. Carl Edwards into the wall. He got tagged by the 22. Big hits by the 19. And the caution comes back out again.
That is exactly what we saw Joey Logano was going to try to do. Big fire of the 78. But that is what we thought was going to happen. Obviously, the wreck isn't what we thought. The 22 gets a big run. Carl sees him coming. He goes to block. 22 does not slow up. Stays in the throttle. Big wreck.
When battling for a championship, when he had the dominant car of the evening, Carl Edwards was ready to take home his first ever championship. It was up until he pulled a bad block on other championship contender Joey Logano. Edwards' car would be sent back up across the racetrack, careening into the wall and having his rear of his car be catapulted in the air and cause a massive accident. Thankfully, Edwards was okay after this, but after this accident, he never stepped foot in another race car, and he hasn't ever since.
Whether the team could switch points.
Whoa, guys, whoa. Oh, no. Oh, my gosh. I have never seen anything like that in my life.
He hit that wall a ton.
Oh, my gosh.
Michael's moving around in the car. My goodness. That's the part of the racetrack.
I can't even hardly watch that.
It's a part of the racetrack, but Murray said was a little slick getting in. Not knowing if Michael changed his line a little bit, got a little too much into that speedy drive.
Yeah, he's got to get to the top. The top's going to have the biggest energy here. 21's going to come with a huge shove.
They are 2 and 3 wide behind him. Crossover.
Here he
That's
comes.
Austin Hill in the 21. Big crash. Up and over. Caution is out. That's Myatt Snider.
Looks like he's moving around, winning that down. That's a good sign. I believe Austin Hill's got this.
And the leader, Austin Hill. But keep this in mind. We freeze the field when the caution comes out on the final lap, so NASCAR will have to review.
In 2022, Myatt Snider kicked off the Xfinity Series in the air that landed in the catch fence, ripping the back of his car apart and flying the engine out and putting it on the racetrack. This was an extremely dangerous crash and a horrifying one to witness. Thankfully, Myatt Snider just left this accident with just a few bruises. That just shows how remarkable the safety has been in NASCAR over the last 25 years. To have a car that has gone over the catch, that has had a car fly into the air and into the catch fence, ripping it to shreds and the driver being okay. Thankfully, Myatt Snider walked away from this accident because it was horrifying to watch.
A little bit. Is he going to get help? Is he going to come? He's looking. Almost. He almost squeezed Harvick into the wall, and here comes Harvick, the 29 with Matt Kenseth.
Oh, Mark got loose. Mark got loose. And Harvick's getting a run off turn 4. It's going to be a drag race all the way back to the start-finish line. No caution. They're side by side, right to the line.
Big crash. Here they come. Checkered flag.
By far the most chaotic and honestly one of the best, if not the best finish to the Daytona 500 we've ever seen came in 2007 when Kevin Harvick and Mark Martin were side by side coming off of turn number 4, and Harvick just beat Martin by just a little bit. But what was even wilder was young driver who was always hyper, Clint Bowyer, ended up flipping upside down on his roof and on fire to finish the Great American Race. And if I don't know what would be more Clint Bowyer-like than that, there's nothing that would be better than that for him. That fit him perfect, but this was by far the craziest finish in the Daytona 500 history.